Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. Michael Voris filling in for Vic Faust. To date, there has still been no official response from the U.S. Bishops' Conference to the charges that the group gives money to pro-abortion groups, pro-gay rights groups, and other organizations with deep ties to the Democratic Party agenda. However, reports being received from Catholics across the country indicate that a lot of talk behind the scenes is going on between the bishops themselves about the reports. Much of the information indicates that a siege mentality has set in among some of the bishops, and it would appear at this moment that no statement will be forthcoming, at least in the near future. Emails have been forwarded on to us by Catholics in communication with their local bishops or local bishop staffs, where the bishops continue to deny the reports, and some have even called them lies. The Reformed CCHD Now Coalition stands by the substance of its reports and still hopes for an official response from the Bishops' Conference. In the meantime, thousands of Catholics have signed the Reform CCHD Now petition featured on this website and many others. We urge you to read it and then sign on and tell as many friends as possible about it. I'm Michael Voris. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. And be sure and check out The Vortex, where today we talk about the Bishops' Conference long history with the Democratic Party. That's it for now. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tell your friends about us. God bless. Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Vortex, where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed. I'm Michael Voris. Hey, have you heard? The United States Conference of Catholic Bishops is run by a bunch of left-wing liberal Democrats. Years ago, the Bishops' Conference was dubbed the Democratic Party at Prayer, and there's a good reason for that. Most of the high-level decision makers are rank-and-file Democrats. Now, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, except that the Democratic Party pushes positions directly opposed to church teachings, and not just some garden-variety church teachings, but teachings against intrinsic evils such as abortion, same-sex marriage, embryonic stem cell research, and euthanasia. So let's step back here and take a look at the big picture for a moment. See, the Catholic Church grew up in America in the Democratic Party. Between the Kennedys and the unions and numerous social issues, Democratic politics were more in line with Catholic teaching than Republican politics were. But then came the cultural revolution of the 1960s, Roe versus Wade in 1973, the homosexual rights movement in the 1980s, and suddenly the Democratic Party tacked hard to the left. But the personal connections between church leadership and Democratic Party leadership remained. So people like John Kerry and Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden and Ted Kennedy continued to exert a massive amount of influence on the church. The Bishops' Conference was begun right at the start of the Democrats turning to the left, and they hired boatloads of liberal Democrats to run the show for them. Today, that's still the case. Look around the Bishops' Conference and you find two close ties with the Democratic Party. Deep, multiple connections to the SEIU, the AFL-CIO, cozy relationships with Democratic-aligned groups like ACORN, and hundreds of other community organizing outfits. That would be fine, except as numerous recent reports have laid out, the Bishops' Conference is actually funding some of these Democratic allied groups with Catholic money collected from innocent Catholics sitting in the pews who have no idea that their money is going to these groups. These groups support a whole range of Democratic Party goals, including abortion, gay rights, and so forth. The Bishops' Conference invites liberal Democratic speakers to appear at their conventions, and they pay them. The Bishops' Conference staffers speak before liberal Democratic groups themselves. They donate to the Democratic Party initiatives. They consult with Democratic Party allies. They hire and promote Democratic Party members. After a while, you have to begin to wonder, is the Bishops' Conference an organization whose goal is to help spread the faith or to fund and spread the Democratic Party gospel? I'm Michael Voris.
Please help us keep delivering these kinds of messages that so desperately need to be heard and acted on. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber. Become immersed in the faith established by Jesus Christ. The Catholic Church is the only hope against evil because that is its God-given mission. As our Lord said, apart from me, you can do nothing. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber and come to learn and love Christ more deeply.